Welcome everyone! In today's video, we will be exploring the construction process of a hanok, the traditional house that deeply embodies Korean culture. This structure is the culmination of over 1,000 years of architectural mastery. The most fascinating part? The entire house is built without using a single nail or screw. The wooden frame is masterfully assembled by artisans, almost like an ancient game of Lego, utilizing a complex system of mortise and tenon joints along with incredibly sturdy wooden pegs. Sounds fascinating, doesn't it? Let's dive right into our journey of discovery. Once the foundation is reinforced with a dense and incredibly sturdy rebar grid, the crew begins pouring the fresh concrete. The concrete pouring process goes incredibly smoothly. One person skillfully controls the massive pump hose to pour the concrete, while a second worker follows closely with a concrete vibrator to force out trapped air bubbles, ensuring a much stronger and solid bond. Finally, a third worker uses large rakes and a long-handled bull float to carefully spread, level, and smooth out the surface. A week later, once the concrete has fully cured and reached the necessary strength, the workers use steel pry bars to carefully pry off and remove the metal formwork. The foundation is finally revealed, showcasing a smooth, rock-solid surface, complete with neatly pre-installed utility pipes. Moving on to the next phase of construction, the craftsmen carefully use a framing square and a pencil to measure and mark highly precise crosshairs on the flat tops of the cylindrical and square granite stones. After a forklift hoists these massive stones onto the foundation slab, the workers must rely on sheer physical strength to roll, lift, and maneuver them into their approximate starting positions. This stage requires immense meticulousness and absolute precision. First, the workers drive wooden stakes along the edges of the foundation. Using a clear plastic tube filled with water, a traditional yet incredibly accurate water leveling method, they mark perfectly horizontal reference lines. Next, neon green strings are pulled tightly across the stakes, creating a suspended coordinate grid in the air. Using a crowbar, the workers pry the stone up just enough to slip in small chainsaw-cut wooden wedges underneath, ensuring the top of the stone is perfectly level. Finally, guided by the grid overhead, they carefully adjust each stone until its center crosshair perfectly aligns with the intersecting strings. Once all the stones are perfectly aligned, the next step is to secure them permanently to the concrete foundation. The workers carefully scoop and pack mortar deep underneath each stone. Using their hands and small wooden sticks, they press the mortar tightly into every nook and cranny, then meticulously trowel a sloped edge around the base for maximum stability. With the foundation phase finally complete, the project welcomes its main character, timber. If you look closely, you'll notice these aren't just raw, unprocessed logs. They have been meticulously pre-crafted, featuring mortises, tenons, and notches carved into both ends with incredible precision. Now it's time for the workers to begin erecting the main pillars for the house. They carefully adjust the base of each pillar, landing it precisely on the crosshairs marked on the foundation stones. Next, a crane slowly lowers the massive horizontal beams, allowing the crew to skillfully slot them into the pre-carved mortises on the pillars, forming the structure's very first solid, interconnected frame. These are wooden structural components featuring delicately carved motifs on both ends. Interlocked crosswise atop the pillars, they serve as an expanded bearing surface. Acting as a crucial bracket system, they perfectly distribute and transfer the entire load from the roof structure down through the supporting columns. Next, the workers begin installing the traditional bracket system. These square wooden blocks, artfully beveled and shaped, are carefully placed right at the intersection of the pillar tops and the support brackets. They aren't just an aesthetic highlight. They serve as the core load-bearing joints that tie the entire frame of the house together. These are the massive timber girders responsible for bearing the main structural load of the entire roof above. Elevated by a crane, these beams are carefully aligned by the craftsman so that they interlock flawlessly with the mortises on the bracket complex and columns, creating a solidly locked joint. Next, a worker uses a power planer to smooth the surfaces of long wooden boards. Then, using a hammer, they skillfully wedge and drive these boards tightly into the gaps between the bracket systems, sealing the spaces and creating a perfectly seamless structure. Long rectangular timber beams are then layered over the filler planks and the bracket complex. Extending longitudinally across the entire framework, these beams provide a direct structural support base, perfectly sustaining the rafters and upper roof structure. Next, massive round wooden beams are hoisted up and settled perfectly into the pre-carved semicircular notches at both ends of the main crossbeam. These are the core structural components that will directly support the rafters of the overhanging eaves. Following this, the construction crew installs short vertical posts directly atop the main crossbeam. In the load-bearing structure, these supports play an essential role in increasing the roof's slope in the central section of the house. The worker uses a pry bar to gently lift the component, then skillfully slips small wooden shims tightly into both sides of the support bracket. This process firmly locks the structure in place, eliminates any gaps, and maximizes its load-bearing capacity. The crane continues to hoist long, round wooden beams, placing them neatly into the notches atop the short pillars. At this point, the entire three-dimensional shape and the characteristic pitch of the hanok's roof skeleton have become strikingly clear and imposing. Immediately after, the pre-assembled grid-patterned wooden ceiling panels are hoisted up onto the roof. Relying on levers and sheer physical strength, the workers skillfully fit these panels snugly between the crossbeams. When looking up from below, all these components merge to form an incredibly magnificent and visually stunning ceiling. Subsequently, large elongated timber beams with a distinctive upward sweep are hoisted and positioned at the four corners of the structure. The craftsmen utilize chainsaws to fine-tune the angles, ensuring a flawless fit with the mortises. Following this, deep holes are drilled and heavy-duty metal bolts are driven in and tightened to securely anchor and reinforce these corner beams. Next, a series of round wooden logs are lined up perfectly parallel, stretching from the top ridgepole and sloping gently down to the crossbeams below. To ensure absolute safety, the workers skillfully use power drills and long screws to firmly anchor each of these rafters to the supporting beams. Following this, a long, thin, and highly flexible wooden strip is nailed across the tips of the rafters at the very bottom edge. Though seemingly a small detail, it serves a crucial purpose, shaping the beautifully soft, sweeping curve that gives the house's eaves their characteristic elegance. Next, thin wooden boards are laid perfectly horizontally across the rafters and continuously nailed down to create a fully sealed, tightly knit roof deck. Particularly at the complex corner intersections, the workers skillfully use chainsaws to make diagonal cuts, meticulously aligning the boards so the joints fit together flawlessly down to the millimeter. A wedge-shaped wooden block is carefully attached right at the base of the corner rafter. This creates a perfect inclined surface, serving as the foundation for the upcoming fan-shaped rafter system. To fill the gap at the roof corner, round wooden logs are arranged in a beautiful radiating fan pattern. Their tails converge at a single point on the purlin, while their tips fan outwards. Here, a chainsaw operator must meticulously shape and bevel each individual log with absolute precision, ensuring they fit seamlessly together without a single gap. The construction phase proceeds with the sacred sangryang, roof-raising ceremony. A specially prepared ridgepole is featured, distinguished by Hanja calligraphy brushstrokes that record the construction date and blessings of good fortune. A traditional ritual is solemnly conducted on site, complete with an offering table containing a pig's head, fruits, and liquor. Upon the ceremony's conclusion, this central beam is carefully elevated to the uppermost peak of the roof structure and firmly pegged, completing the highest structural spine of the building. To provide shelter from harsh rain and sun, traditional Hanok houses typically feature remarkably deep overhanging eaves. The secret to achieving this is installing an additional layer of short flying rafters stacked directly over the edge of the initial round rafters. A standout feature is the sare, a massive wooden extension joined to the tip of the original corner rafter, sweeping gracefully upward toward the sky. Once the short rafters are set in place, the craftsmen install a pliable fascia board across their tips. This step is fascinating to watch. The workers must use heavy-duty ratchet straps to forcefully bend and shape the wood to match the eave's elegant curve before permanently driving in the screws. Immediately after, the craftsman skillfully inserts small wooden blocks to completely fill the gaps between the short flying rafters, making the eaves structure seamlessly tight and incredibly solid. Next, another layer of thin wooden boards is evenly spread and nailed down over the newly completed short rafter system. The crucial element in this step is the installation of the pressing timber. This specific component is securely locked in at the innermost tails of the short rafters. It acts as a massive hidden lock, pressing firmly down on the tails to counteract the cantilever effect, ensuring the eaves rafters never pop up or shift out of place. Next, two large wooden boards are skillfully joined together to form a beautiful A shape, firmly attached to both gable ends of the house. This detail not only shields the internal framework from the elements, but also adds a grand appearance, completing the characteristic charm of the roof. Once the entire roof deck is completely sealed with wooden boards, the workers begin unrolling waterproof membranes over the surface. Using a blowtorch, they meticulously melt and weld the overlapping seams together, creating an absolutely watertight armor. Although the core shape of the roof is now complete, traditional Hanok tiles are incredibly heavy and require a bed of mud and clay to adhere properly. To accommodate this, the crew lays down an additional system of round wooden poles running vertically down the slope, directly over the membrane. By driving screws through the waterproofing into the wooden frame below, this grid system creates perfect channels for packing the mud and laying the tiles later. This is a brilliant step, as it establishes the perfect roof pitch while keeping the original wooden decking completely intact. Next, the roofers evenly spread these natural tree bark layers over the wooden rafters and securely nail them into place. This special bark layer not only acts as a protective shield for the underlying timber structure, but also helps naturally define the beautifully soft base curve of the roof. The carpenters skillfully use a pencil to sketch continuous wavy lines onto a long wooden plank. Then, using an electric jigsaw, they carefully cut along the drawn contours to create a wooden strip with a beautifully scalloped edge. These special wooden battens are firmly attached right along the roof's eave edge, acting as a perfect cradle that snugly embraces the very first row of concave tiles. Down on the ground, an excavator is hard at work, thoroughly mixing a special clay mud with water to create a thick, pliable paste. This mud mixture is packed into massive sacks and hoisted straight up to the roof. Up there, the builders skillfully use their bare hands and small trowels to pack, press, and evenly spread the mud over the tree bark layer. This clay layer might seem rustic, but it acts as a crucial adhesive, firmly locking the heavy tiles onto the steeply pitched roof. Next, the workers carefully place the concave tiles, large, somewhat flat, and slightly curved ones, onto the pliable mud bed. Each tile is rhythmically laid overlapping the next, creating continuous water channels extending from the eaves all the way up to the roof's peak. To ensure absolute aesthetic perfection, the roofers constantly pull a string line throughout the process, guaranteeing that every single row of tiles is perfectly straight. Following the installation of the concave tiles, the crew proceeds to apply clay mortar, shaping it into raised ridges along the seams between the tile rows. Over these mortar beds, they systematically lay the semi-cylindrical convex tiles face down. This technique plays a pivotal role in sealing the gaps to prevent rainwater infiltration, while simultaneously establishing the distinctive raised vertical ridges that serve as an iconic aesthetic feature of the building. In the final finishing phase, the construction crew utilizes a specialized light gray sealant mixture. Using manual troweling techniques, the roofers carefully apply this mortar to seal the gaps, tile margins, the flanks of the roof ridge, and the decorative elements. This material serves a dual purpose. It firmly binds and seals vulnerable points for absolute waterproofing, while simultaneously creating visually striking, contrasting grout lines, thereby accentuating the geometric and architectural beauty of the entire roof system. Moving back inside the house, the workers immediately dive into the wall framing phase. Working together, they carry the heavy, lower horizontal beams, carefully using crowbars to align them and sledgehammers to drive them perfectly into the pre-cut mortises at the base of the main pillars. Following this same rhythm, the middle and upper horizontal beams are hoisted and locked into place. All of these elements connect to create a perfectly square and sturdy wooden framework, clearly defining the future walls and window openings. Next, the craftsmen carefully use a handheld circular saw to meticulously trim the joints, preparing to install the vertical doorposts. To secure the frame, they use large wooden mallets, delivering decisive blows to drive the wooden joints tightly together for a perfectly snug and incredibly solid connection. Next, the craftsman uses a tape measure for meticulous measuring, marks precise lines, and decisively cuts off the excess wood with a chainsaw. Once the dimensions are perfect, the entire crew works together to hoist this massive wooden pillar upright, skillfully connecting it to the roof frame above and placing it solidly onto a stone base. And here are the beautiful decorative corbels. To secure them, the craftsman works swiftly with a pneumatic nail gun, firmly fastening each wooden piece to form a perfectly even horizontal row. This sequence of wooden brackets runs along the main beams right below the ceiling, creating a highly eye-catching and seamless visual accent for the entire space. Now it's time for the incredibly crucial wood finishing process. This light coat doesn't just act as a protective armor against termites and water damage. It also brings the beautiful pine wood grain to life. Thanks to this treatment, the characteristic golden hue of the raw wood is highlighted, looking more radiant and glossy than ever before. Next are the carefully installed wooden battens that create a continuous ridge framework. This framing acts as a clever grooved skeleton, perfectly prepped to slot in and securely hold the wall panels that will be installed shortly after. Next comes the introduction of the carbon thermal insulation panels. The worker skillfully sprays a bead of expanding polyurethane foam along the grooved edges of the foam board. They then press the panel firmly and snugly into the wooden frames, using a nail gun to secure it firmly in place. This expanding foam will quickly swell to completely fill and seal even the tiniest gaps, ensuring the house stays cool in the summer and warm in the winter. After countless hours of dedication, this stunning hanok is finally complete. It's more than just a building. It's a masterpiece where the timeless, rustic elegance of tradition seamlessly blends with the optimal comfort of modern living. From the proudly sweeping tile roof to the smart thermal insulation walls, every detail has been meticulously crafted to create a peaceful, enduring living space. Which part of this construction journey impressed you the most? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to join us on our next unique architectural projects. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.